It's time for Contessa's Court with Wanda Julian. Wanda owns, creates, and runs 7 magazines. Each magazine is focused on health, beauty, and luxury. Her business motto is to share beauty and goodwill with the world. Now, it's time for the show, Contessa's Court.
Hello, everybody. Lovely to see you again. Let's bring on Cindy and start the show.
Hi.
Hi, Cindy. The last 2 episodes we didn't really talk to you, so I want to ask you a couple questions before we bring on our guest, Internet.
Okay.
So, we met in college
Yeah,
in English class,
we did.
and we became best friends right away.
Mm-hmm.
And would you ever? Why don't you tell us your passions? Yeah, let's start there.
Well, aside from my family, I think my passions are creating anything artistic, anything that's beautiful.
Yes.
These especially.
Yes, you're so good at that.
Thank you. And just music is a huge passion.
Yeah.
You know, one of my favorite pastimes is at nighttime going and sitting in my son's room with him, and we just play a song we really like and sing with it. And
Mm-hmm.
you know, when you're bored, there's nothing better than music.
Absolutely, absolutely. Let me get more centered here. I'm going the wrong way. Nope. There we go. Sorry. We're a work in progress here, people.
Yeah.
And so, what are some of your dreams? Because I love to help people dream. You know what I mean?
Well, you know, some of my big dreams, some of my
Our
smaller,
Our viewers don't know.
right. Well, one of my biggest dreams is to, and this is silly because everybody says this, is to become filthy rich. Not
Uh-huh.
for myself, but I have this huge dream of wanting to start a sort of community that
Mm-hmm.
is focused on helping people who are, you know, homeless, facing homelessness, that are just really not living the best life they can because they need help.
Yeah.
And, you know, starting out with, you know, maybe just one dorm and a cafeteria and a couple offices, and
Yeah.
you know, bringing in these people, and part of their training and their education will be to help build the place up so that they
Yeah.
can gain that on the job kind of training,
Yeah.
and hiring, you know, semi-retired or even some completely retired who aren't really happy being retired instructors to come in
Yeah.
and teach people, so
Yeah.
that we're still helping people who are, you know, semi-retired that aren't really ready to be fully retired,
Right.
make a better living, and to help better other people,
Yeah.
and give people a chance to make something of themselves that they want to make, and to be that their best them that they can be. And you know, and this would include alcohol and drug counseling for those who need it,
Mm-hmm.
grief counseling, any kind of counseling that's needed, and education that's needed. You know,
I
whether
love
it
it.
be GED classes or even college courses. You know, I want it to be a full setup so that people can leave the program fully ready for living on their own and keeping themselves and their families sustained.
Oh, okay. And you're a humanitarian like I am, that I will be. And you remember, you want to be wealthy, not just rich. Rich is just money. Wealthy
Right,
is property, investments,
right,
you know, things like that. So
uh,
you want willable assets
right, and
to
that
leave to
brings me
your boys and
right, and that brings me to the other big dream that I have is to own a few restaurants. One of them focused on low cost to no cost for people of very low to no income,
Yeah.
and have them for different stages of some people who have good money and can pay a regular amount for a meal should be able to get high quality meals, with
Hmm.
high quality products. That's something that a
Yep.
lot of places are lacking here.
Yeah.
And I want to be able to grow my own produce, and everything is going to be fresh. I want it farm fresh.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
which again would employ more people and give more job opportunities as well.
Absolutely. It would. You're right. All right. Well, let's go ahead and bring on Antoinette so she gets all of her time.
Okay.
And welcome,
Welcome.
Antoinette.
Hey, thank you for having me, ladies. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Great.
I'm
Great.
amazing.
Good.
Great. I'm trying to figure out how to. I'm like, okay, where do I gotta move the camera? Sorry, people. There we go. I think I'm good now, right? um, so tell us, uh, what do you do?
Well, I am the CEO and founder of the AIM Agency. We're a creative agency that focuses on brand development and lead generation strategies. We take our clients from idea to brand to business, business to elevation and profit, pretty much meeting them where they are to help them achieve their next level business goals. I have a lot of things on my plate. I just recently also stepped into my role of Chief Brand Officer of a Black House Media TV network. I also have a nonprofit, Bonded by Birth. We're an advocate for parents and children dealing with ruptured relationships due to the separation or disconnection of one another. And it's a lot of things. I'm just one of those people that is going to connect and do what it takes to get the job done, whatever that may be in the moment.
We need to talk because I need help with lead generation. So we
Oh,
need to talk about
definitely.
that.
Yes, I love lead generation.
All right. So after like tomorrow, could we talk about that?
Don't make me lie to you. I got to look at the schedule and then I can tell you exactly when we can talk.
Okay. Soon. This week. This week.
Yes,
Can we
we
talk?
should be able to talk this week, I'm sure.
Perfect. Because I need to get that going like ASAP.
Okay.
Perfect. So you do, so basically you help small businesses grow, take that next step, right?
Let's remove the word small businesses and let's say
Okay.
I help
Business.
businesses grow.
Right. And go to the next level.
Yes, whatever that may be.
I love
Sometimes
Right.
they're in their grassroots stages. Sometimes they're ready to scale higher from the last scaling goal. So it just depends.
Yeah. I love it. I love it because I know having the magazines for 9 years that I'm ready. I'm ready to go to the next level, and I'm like going all in, scoot ships forward, all in, and
Yeah.
because that's how you grow, right?
Yeah. And what I was going to say is, when you say all in might not necessarily be exactly what you need for next level. The first thing is actually deciding what that next level actually looks like to you. What does next level really mean to you? Because next level is something different for everybody depending on where they are. And
Yep.
sometimes the keys to that next level for us isn't more so about us going all in. It has more to do with the systems that we have in place. Sometimes it can be automation. Sometimes it can be a certain type of tool or productivity tool that we're using within our businesses to connect some dots. So it's not always that you're not doing enough or you're not going all in. There may be some things internally in the business that can be tweaked to make things move better and more smoothly.
Right. Yeah, well, I want to make 6 to 7 figures a month. That's how all in I am.
Okay. And there's ways to do that without having to do a whole lot of work. I mean, you can literally, it's a blessing and a curse, as they say, social media. But
Yeah.
you can literally utilize advertising tools that can help make that difference for you by putting your product directly in front of your target audience. And I'm not talking about your target audience of readers, because it really depends. Like if this magazine is free, then we're not talking about the target audience of readers. We're talking about the target audience of the clients that actually spend money for it to be in the magazine. So it just
Right.
really depends on making sure that we have those goals clear, those
Perfect.
avatars and ideal clients like really clear and crisp, making sure that
Right.
we're using the right messaging for them to capture what we're trying to convey to actually convert and become a client.
Well, see, I need your help then. We met for a reason, right?
Absolutely.
People are put in your path for a reason, and I'm like, I like her.
I like you
Yeah.
too, girl. You already know we jamming.
Yep,
Mhm.
absolutely. So tell us, how did you get started
Well, in what exactly?
doing what you do, like helping businesses grow?
Well, I would have to say that there were multiple things that I needed as an entrepreneur in my
Hmm.
earlier stages. And because I didn't actually have a lot of the tools to pay people, whether it was money or, being able to barter back then, I didn't have all the tools I needed to get the things that I needed done from a professional. So I
Right.
opened up some books. I went to the library. I got on Google and YouTube University, and I chose alternate routes of education to help me
Right.
learn how to do these things. Um, be, Doing it for myself became attractive to people that were needing those services too. And from there, it was a snowball effect of helping people. And it just became a thing. I learn, I teach, I help you grow. I learn, I teach, I help you grow. A repeated
I
system.
love that. I love
Yeah.
that. It is so refreshing to hear that. And because in this day and age, some people are really selfish, and they're like, I'm going to succeed, I don't care if you do. And I'm the type of person, I'm going to bring people up with me, people that I trust, care about, love, people that have been with me when I was poor and on food stamps. Do you know what I'm saying?
I
So,
absolutely do.
and you bring them up with you, you bring them up, which brings their family up, and then you have solid people with you that are there for you and not for what you can do for them or users. And so I'm a hard firm believer of that, and a lot of my clients have become my friends over the years,
Yep.
and so I want to help them as much as possible, and I do.
Yep. Yep. That's pretty much how it works.
That's awesome. And so tell us about the TV network.
Well, I'm actually just getting acclimated in my role, so I'm not all the way there yet. I'm still
Uh-huh.
prepping and getting things in order. But
Hmm.
BHC is on all TV networks from Roku, Apple, and all the streaming sites. You
Uh-huh.
guys are probably very familiar with the same. And they're just sharing stories of different content creators. I really can't give you a lot of information because I'm not acclimated in my role yet. So
Okay.
I wouldn't be doing nobody a good service because I can't give you the correct verbiage that stands for the brand itself because I haven't
Okay.
learned.
Okay. Well, I know you wear a lot of hats and do a lot of things. Do you want to share anything else that you do?
Sure. I'm an international author. I just
Oh,
ended a tour, a 2-year tour for It Starts With I some months back. That was a great, great experience. I met some amazing people, got to hear some awesome stories, got to connect and bond with people that were either like me today or like me at some point in my life where they needed who I am today to bring them
right.
up to feel better and know that there's a better person inside of them besides the things that they're going through right now. That whole journey
Mhm.
was just definitely life changing for me, for sure. I have a new book on the way. It starts with I intentions. It's coming, gonna teach people how to live an intentional life, how to do exactly what you want to do, the way you want to do it, when you want to do it. It's something.
Awesome.
I'm sorry.
Awesome. We got a break for commercial. We'll be right back. Thank you.
You know what I mean? But I got some churches. I got some. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. You in here selling serving repast food and all that. I mean, you know,
Ain't no repast food.
you know when you be at the, I mean, you know when you be at the fruit and them old women, you got that serving the food. At the fruit.
Yeah.
Ever been out serving the food? And they be doing something, you be wanting, they have chicken and ham and ribs, and you be wanting a piece of rib chicken. Oh no, baby, it gets for the family. and how that little side over the macaroni and cheese, they be digging on the side. Just give me some cheese. And we have a problem when we tell, oh, I know my child don't. I know my child ain't did this. You don't know what your child did.
Look at Elder Levine over there. Look at Elder Levine.
Amen.
Amen.
You don't know what your child do when they ain't in your eyesight.
Well,
Where my
Because we
children?
done been children before.
Where my children?
And we always, when we good.
Everybody needs a little TLC. Transformational lifestyle content. 90 days of self-love and self-care, cultivating body, mind, and spirit. Presented by Tawan Lowe. You may find the affirmative expressions to be useful. Produced for audiobook by Angie B. Productions and narrated by me, the Queen Bee, Angie B.
Mommy and Daddy, do you still love me anymore? Written by Frenchier Gardner. This book is dedicated to Sarah, Frenchier 2, Melchizedek Malcolm X, Joseph Jr., and my mama, Virgie Gardner. I love you. Our family was always together happily. We had so much fun. We ran around in the yard and sang songs in the street. People would approach us with their arms stretched out wide, offering caresses, candy, or even clothes. They called us Indigo Kids.
Produced for audiobook by Angie B. Productions.
here we are back again. Let's bring Cindy and Antoinette back in.
Hi.
Hi. Okay,
Welcome
so we were
back.
just finishing up about your book. I'm so
Yes.
fascinated by it. In fact, if you have copies, I want a signed copy. I want you to sign it for me. And
I
then
don't
I'll
have any now, but when the new book is released, I will.
okay, perfect. And I'll get both of them at the same time then and have you sign them for me because I love to collect signed books by authors because I love to read. I love books. My next house, I'm going to have a floor-to-ceiling library, and I want a whole section just to be signed books
That's
because
dope.
I love them that much. And I love to support authors, and I love to support people that I know and care about. And I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So tell us some of your passions.
Well, I love creating music and writing. I sing and I used to rap and I did that whole music thing for years until I wanted to focus more on corporate branding. I really do love doing creative stuff, period, whether I'm designing a logo or I am making something creatively with my hands and whatever else. I just like to create. That's
Creating is fun.
Yes.
Creating is fun. In fact, we have a whole magazine around her barrettes and any crafts that we do because she loves them so much and she takes pictures. And I'm like, this is a step by step. This is genius. So
Mhm.
we're starting a crafting magazine.
Nice.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you something. Oh, you and I have. I hope this is okay that I mention this. You do speaking engagements, correct?
Absolutely.
Did you get booked at the one for LA?
I did. It's,
Yay.
it's July 24th. It
Okay.
is called A Blanket of Hope, I think. Let
Ooh,
me look.
that's a nice name. I like that name.
It's a cozy name.
Yes, it
Uh-huh.
is called A Blanket of Hope. It's a free domestic violence aid and community luncheon. I'll be there in Los Angeles sharing my domestic violence story and what I'm doing today to overcome those battles and how I can help other people, make way out of their situation or at least be happier on the inside while trying to leave that situation.
That is so inspiring and so amazing. And
Thank
anything that you projects that you need help with, you just let me know with money. I got you.
Thank you so much. I'm really all about collaborating with people and finding
Hmm.
ways that we can give back to these causes because all of us have something that we experienced or that was something that held us back from being our best selves before today. And those
Yes.
things, there are people today dealing with those same issues that we dealt with yesterday. So
Yep.
it's all about coming together to create a passageway of helping impact the people around us in our communities. You look on the news and they're talking about what happened in this country way over wherever, but it's like, what about the people right here in my backyard?
Right.
What about the people next door?
Yeah.
What about the people in my house? You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. You need to
So
take care of who you got around you and then spread out from there.
Right, right. Because we
yep.
can't take care of others if we ain't taking care of us and our own.
Exactly. And truth
Yep.
be told, if we just start right with ourselves and those that are directly connected to us, there's a domino effect that starts to
Right.
happen. And we don't have to worry about taking care of people way over there because the domino effect will reach over there. You know what I mean?
It
Right,
will.
right.
It
Because
will.
every person that we affect, they will in turn affect another person. And yeah,
And it
exactly.
just goes on and on and on. It's kind of like a pay it forward thing. So I
Yeah,
Yeah,
gave you
yeah.
$5 for McDonald's. Now I paid for your McDonald's, so you pay for the next person's McDonald's. Or you pay
exactly.
for the next person's food in the drive-through. You pay for the cops' coffee and donuts. Whatever it is. You help the mom and kids pay for their groceries at the store. You give them $20 extra so the kids can get some candy and maybe whatever they need. Because
hmm
you see that's just ramen in the cart, and you're like, oh, they're struggling right now. Here's some money. Go get some juice
What
and
you
some
need.
milk and some cereal, whatever you need.
That
I
happened when I was on the road. Uh,
Oh,
we were out in front of a liquor store, and
okay.
I'm weird, so it's
Me
a car.
too. Join
This
the
particular
crowd.
this particular liquor store had a driveway, and
Okay.
the people it was a car full of women, and they had their music up pretty loud, and I had my book in my hand. I'm in the passenger seat of the car that I'm in, but the book is in my hand on the dashboard, and whatever song was playing, I think I was just bobbing to it, and then it said something that made me point to my book, whatever the song
Uh-huh.
was. So she turns her music down, and she's like, "Is that your book or something? What you trying to tell me?" So we have a conversation. I'm like, "Yeah, this is my book, and that made me think of it, blah, 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 blah." So she's like, "Well, what's your information? I want to get your book later on." Well, whole time, there's this lady who was out there panhandling, asking people for money and stuff as they go in the store. She's sitting there and heard our whole conversation. And when the lady asked, like, how much is your book and how she could connect, the lady came up to me. She said, "How much you said your book was?" So I told her. That lady, the panhandler lady, pulled the money out of her pocket and said, "Here, now give her the book." So I gave it to the girl in the car. So
Wow.
the girl in the car, she was like, "Now I gotta buy your book." So then she went and bought a book online right then and there and said, "Give it to whoever you want." And it just was a domino effect in that situation.
Wow.
So it's definitely always great to
Wow.
pay it forward.
It is. It
Yes.
is. And if you need help, do you have a publisher or did you self-publish?
I did self-publish, but I'm not
Okay.
opposed to having a publisher. I would
Okay,
love to do
because
that.
yeah, because in the future, I'm hoping within a year, sorry. Um, I want to open a publishing house. So people
Right.
that are self-publishing and people that are connected with me always have a place to have a book. And also, I'll help pay for the tours. I'll help set up the tours, the TV shows, all the the things that they used to do. I'm going
Mm-hmm.
to do again because I
Mm-hmm.
think it's silly that they just kind of throw you to the wolves, and then you get a dinky royalty, and I'm like, what? It's like the record studio, how it's like 56, is it 57 points or 56 points?
Don't
And you
make me
get
laugh.
7 or 9. And I'm like, what? No.
It
That's
don't make.
another thing I'm going to have is a record studio because I love to sing and you love to sing. So think about that. And I'm taking on any any kind of music because I don't think it should be close to, oh, we're only doing rap artists or, oh, we're only doing, nope.
It's
Nope,
what
I'm
you
gonna
have.
do whatever speaks to me and whatever people that are around me that I'm like, I want to help you. Because I'm a humanitarian. Okay. Let's say an aspiring one. I don't have the money to back it right now, but I'm going to. It's gonna
Mm-hmm.
flow to me.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us what is a goal that you haven't achieved yet that you want to achieve.
Well, I am right now organizing my media pillars. I used to be the
Okay.
media girl back in the day,
Okay.
and I'm ready to embrace that part of me again because that's really, I want to get away from providing services
Yeah.
and focus on utilizing my voice to help. So
Yeah.
that's teaching, radio, books, things like
Yes.
that. And I don't
Yes.
want to make websites. I don't want to design logos. I want to
Right.
get away from that stuff as a job. If I
Right.
feel like doing it, great, but not where it has to be the thing that I'm doing. So that's
Right.
really, where I am. There's a lot of information in this big old head that I got here.
Write it down.
And I'm just trying, not trying, I am just organizing it out so that
Mm-hmm.
I can give this information to the masses in a way that they can grasp it, whether they learned how to read yesterday or they went
Yeah.
to college and graduated. I want
Yeah.
everyone to be able to grasp this information and implement it and apply it into their lives and businesses to be better, to achieve the lifestyle that they want to live.
That's amazing. And also, I want to offer this to you because you said your new book comes out in September. That if you need help with funding to go on tour, I'd love to help with that.
That would be awesome. I definitely have some spots where, because I like to partner. And
Yeah.
even if you have like investors and stuff, why not make it a sponsorship so that you talk about their business? Just the
Right.
investor is one thing, but like making it where we have a reason to talk about what you're doing, how you're doing it, how people can get involved, what they
Hmm.
can do to be the next da 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 da. So we
Right.
definitely can have that conversation sooner than later.
I love that. I love that because I love. I don't call it a handout. I call it a hand up.
Look,
Right. It's I'm helping elevate you. You help elevate me. It's a reciprocal infinity thing if you are the type of person that's willing to do that. And I have a big heart. I want to help people, and I can tell you do. And of course, Cindy does. She has a really big heart,
Thank you.
and I'm drawn to people that are driven and have big hearts and are super caring. And so you said you had a charity, and now what is the charity help with again?
we're bonded by birth. We're an advocate for parents and children dealing with ruptured
Okay.
relationships due to the separation or disconnection from one another.
Right.
In a
Right.
nutshell, I have a 15-year-old son, and
Okay.
my history became his story, literally.
Right.
So I was separated from both of my parents as a child and as an
Okay.
adult, and my son is now going through the same thing because he and I are separated from one another.
Okay. Is there anything I can do to help with that?
To be honest, he's 15. He'll be 18 soon. Um, we're riding the wave, and we'll see what happens when he's
Okay.
an adult. Um,
Yeah.
one thing that I know for a fact because I went through it is that there
Okay.
are multiple emotions that take place in both people, the parent and
Yeah.
the child.
Oh yeah.
And as a child, see, with me, it was different because I literally saw my mother on her knees begging and praying to God to take me away from her so that she wouldn't be my
Oh.
parent. So I knew that my parents didn't want or love me. It's different with my son
Oh.
because he's never had to experience, definitely not me, and I don't think from his father either, witnessing a
Right.
parent say they don't want you, but still being separated from a parent and then another parent doing things in front of you blatantly to keep you separated from that parent, that causes emotions and traumatic experiences. Then on
Mm-hmm.
top of that, being in that care, there's a thing that's called Stockholm syndrome. So
Yeah.
I understand that the small amounts of time that my son gets to have with me, with the breaks that happen in the middle. So our 3 days together from last seeing him 2 years ago, and then he's going back to that situation, he's gonna go right back into the mode that he's used to. So
Yeah.
I'm not going to. I don't have any particular expectation about anything. I am willing to ride the wave with however it comes because he's still my son. I love him dearly.
Yeah.
I always love him. And whatever happens when we are together again is what we will deal with and make the best out of it.
Yeah. Cindy, do you have any questions for Antoinette?
No, I don't think so. You're doing a pretty great job of covering all the questions I
Thank
would ask.
you. Okay, so what are let's see. I asked about goals. Then I asked about like what would be your ideal life if you could dream the impossible dream, which it is possible because it's impossible, right?
Right.
So there you go. There's a nugget for everybody. Uh, your what is your ideal life? Include your
Um,
house, the car you want, everything.
I would like to be married, have more
Yes.
children.
Hmm.
Um, I would like to I see myself speaking still all over
Yes.
the world.
Yes.
Definitely consulting and things like that, like, through
Mhm.
phone, computer, whatever.
Mhm.
Um, More books, children's books. I
Yep.
know I'm going to have more companies because I create a company out of anything that's a part of my life. If I'm using
Yep.
it, I need to own it.
Right.
Um, And I love the exoticness. I love like exotic trees and the
Yeah.
beautiful scenery. So I would like to live like in a place like that where every day I can see a palm tree or a nice looking tree and be able
Uh
to get
huh.
in water daily and
Right.
not have
Like
to wait till
like
a certain
Hawaii then, or
Florida.
well, I've
where?
never been there yet, so I wouldn't. I don't know yet. Like I can't pick just off of how it looks. I need to know like what's happening and how it is there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Of course.
Um,
Of
I
course.
love California.
Okay. Well, then that
Vegas,
sounds like the place.
I like a lot as well. I really like Vegas a lot.
Mhm.
Arizona is good, but it's just too darn hot there for me.
It's a
Yeah.
dry heat. That's the
Yeah.
problem. It's a dry heat.
Yeah, so I don't
Mhm.
think Arizona would be it for me.
Florida. I love Florida.
I know you do.
Yeah, Florida's cool, but I don't know how I'm vibing with the alligators and stuff.
Oh,
No.
true. But there's areas you can go that aren't really as populated with alligators.
Okay,
You just got to know where to go. Tampa Bay is pretty good about that.
okay, okay, okay,
Yeah. I lived there for 3.5 years, so
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I've been in like a circle around. I've been in like the whole west. Like I've been around Utah. I think, right? Is Utah around here? I don't know.
it's
I'd have to look at a
close-ish.
map.
Yeah, it's
So we did like a big circle around it, and it took 11 days. And I was like, I am sick of being in the car right now. I would never do that again.
Mm.
Because if we're doing it, we're doing it in luxury like an RV or something, and not just a
Mhm.
little
Yes.
Corsica where it's me and the baby in the back being all hot and having the windows down, right?
Try
I
doing it
want
in a
air
gremlin.
conditioning.
Yeah. Oh no, seriously, we had 4 of us
Gremlin.
in a gremlin, and we moved from one side of the country to the other.
I
It
love
was
it.
terrible.
Gremlins.
It
It
was
reminds me of
terrible.
Pintos.
Oh, and we had a cat in there too.
A
Oh, wow.
cat.
4 people and a cat, and our belongings crammed into a tiny little gremlin.
Oh
Yeah.
my god. Well, you didn't take much then with you then, did you?
No, we had to leave almost everything because those things, they don't hold much, and there was 5 bodies in there. One of them was tiny, but still there were 5 bodies
It
in that car.
counts.
Right?
Counts.
So
Counts as a
yeah,
body.
there wasn't much. We were sitting on things. Let's put it that way. We were sitting on folded clothes and stuff because that was the only way we were getting clothes with this.
I already know how it goes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I want to say that you inspire me. We've talked on the phone, we've talked online,
Thank
and
you.
I would love to be your friend in real life because you inspire me, and I love to have people around me that inspire me and help. Because it's like I help you lift you up, you help lift me
You
up,
lift me up. Mhm.
and so I would love that, and I would love to have you on the show again once your new book comes out.
Okay.
So we can talk about that. And so your book now, is it on Amazon?
Not It Starts With I, but the Water for Her Soul book is.
Water for Her Soul.
Yeah, that book, a lady brought my It Starts With I affirmations book. She sent me a picture of her 11-year-old daughter reading the book. And her 11-year-old daughter was like, wow, I've never met an author before. So, me, I had to pull up. Ding dong. How you doing? So I went and met with them and connected with her daughter. And she was like, wow, I've never met an author. This is so cool. I want to write a book. And I said, let's do it. So we wrote a book that day. And we worked on it for a few days. And I published it. And that book is on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and lots of places. And that's the book that is out there as far as in other places. The It Starts With I series, I self-published and only put it on my websites and physically had copies while I was on the tour. So that book has to be gotten from me directly.
I love that. And you kind of control it a little more.
Yes. Not that we're gonna teach a whole lot about this, but before I wrote my own book, I first went to publishing class because I already had an idea and I knew what I needed. But you want to talk to an expert that's going to make sure you got all your T's crossed and I's dotted. So when I took that class, there was a few key things that that she taught in that class. And one of them was about maximizing your one book, the customers, how to maximize that customer, because once a person buys from you once, they will buy from you again.
Absolutely.
And if your book is on Amazon and these places, guess what, honey? Those ain't your customers. That's Amazon's customer. That's so-and-so customer. You don't know their name. You don't have their email address to say, hey, I got a new book coming out. Would you like a copy? I'm doing this. Would you like to come? None of that. So for me, a lot of people, they want to have that title. I'm an Amazon bestseller and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, that's great, but it doesn't equate to dollars. And it doesn't help me build a community with the people that want my product. I want to talk and communicate and deal with people that see my value, people that need what I got, people that want what I got. I'm not trying to promote and sell to the whole world that's not interested in my product. So if I can't get the email address, the phone number, and the contact details to the very people that I want to talk to that are buying my product, what is the purpose here? For a label? I'm not interested.
Right. Because you can make your own label.
Exactly.
Why can't you make your own label?
Hey, I'm a bestseller. My book was the only book for sale at the AIM agency while I was on tour, and I'm the bestseller. So I can now say I'm a bestseller, right?
Hey,
It's awesome.
Yeah, and you can always use that as a title of best-selling author, Antoinette Logan.
Yeah,
So
well,
it's
I
like,
haven't because, like, I didn't even look at it that way. But everything that you do, whether it's being like we're talking about the bestseller title and all that,
yep,
all about how you market your particular thing or skill to the world. You have the
yeah,
power to create the narrative, the perception, the thing that you present to whoever you're presenting it to. So, like you said, if I really care to use that title, I wouldn't be lying. I was the bestseller for my publishing company, not Amazon,
okay,
not da 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 da, my publishing company. If right now you are the owner of your magazine, editor in chief of another one, you know what I mean? These are different skills, and depending on who we talking to, we promote the skill that's important at that time. It's all about
absolutely, absolutely. Okay, it's commercial time, so we'll be right back.
These church announcements are being brought to you by We Keep It Real Funeral Home. Amen. Let the church say amen. And their church motto is, if you ugly living, what makes you think we can make you look good dead? Let the church say amen. Amen, amen. Let the church say amen again. Amen, amen. Make him look like himself. Make him look like himself. This is a picture of him 2 years old. Only thing is he ain't got no teeth and he don't even got no teeth. Make him look like himself. Calm down.
When it seemed like the world had stopped, as if our normal would never be again. Confinement Chronicles.
Still, there were those who held fast to hope. These are their stories. From teachers to dads to nurses on the front line, they have chronicled their messages of hope. Confinement Chronicles, now available. Order today on Amazon, also available in audiobook or at laderopress.com.
Confinement Chronicles.
Welcome back, everybody.
I'm back.
Okay, so let's wrap up with Antoinette. So they can find your book on your website. What's your website?
AskMissLogan.com. You can also
Perfect.
go to Linktree, linktr.ee
Okay.
/ Ask Miss Logan.
Perfect. And then How do people? So that way they can find everything that you do.
Yes, for the most part, there's all the links to the most important stuff. You can actually right now get It Starts with I Affirmations book and pre-order your copy of It Starts with I Intentions book right now for $34.99.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yes.
That's a great deal.
Pre pre-sale orders are always the best time to get a book.
Okay, remind me of that, and I'll pre-order. I'll pre-order next month.
Sure will. Thank you so much.
It's
I
been a
appreciate
delight
you so
having
much.
you.
Thank
Yes,
you. And it's been
absolutely.
a great conversation. I love the vibe here. I feel so comfortable. Thank you.
Good,
Great. We
good.
look forward to having you back soon.
Sure
Yes.
thing. I definitely would love to come back.
Okay, goodbye.
Bye.
All right, she was a delight. I love her. I talked to her on the phone. I've
Hmm.
talked to her online, and I'm like, there's something about her. You know how I have that feeling about people.
Yeah, she's really sweet.
Very sweet,
And
very,
she's very intelligent, which is a good
very
combination.
intelligent.
Yeah,
Yeah, and uh, just so talent. So diversely talented. You know what I mean?
yes.
Does so many things and has such a wide variety of skills. It's impressive.
Right.
Very impressive.
Her nonprofit really resonates with me a lot.
Yes. Yes. Me too. Me too. We'll go into that another time, but
Yeah,
save it for the book. Save it for the book.
right. Absolutely.
Save it for the book. By the way, I'm going to ask you, you know what we need to start doing?
Hmm.
Sometime when I come over, you're going to have a notebook. I'm going to have a notebook, and we're going to each write a page of our whatever we're working on while we're together to inspire each other. And we're going to hold each other accountable. Let's do that once a week.
Okay.
Because guess what? That's 52 pages. When you type
Right.
that up, 52 pages of written, handwritten, probably 50,000 words or more.
Right.
So that's half a book.
And if we wind up writing more than one page at a time, that's even better.
Two, we'd have a book out in a year because you want a book to be about 100,000 pages,
Right.
depending on your market. But yours is going to be,
Goodness.
you need a drink of water, baby?
I've been drinking water. It's allergies.
Okay. Okay. So let's see here. I'm going to talk about the humanitarian stuff because I think when you put it out there in the universe, things happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You pray to God, the universe, whatever you believe in, and say it out loud because then you have the intention behind it because you're saying it out loud. So
Right.
my intention is to be extremely wealthy. And when we say extremely wealthy, I mean billions of dollars. And that's
Right.
so I can take care of me and my family, make sure I have two sons, Skylar and Austin.
Hmm.
You have two sons, Alex and
Jay.
Jay. I
Hmm.
knew that. And I want to make sure they have something to be willed, including money and property and all the things that
Right.
is possible. As well as I wanted to help take care of my friends and their families, by you work for me, so in turn I pay you. That helps take care of you and Alex,
Right.
and because Alex still lives with you right now.
Yep.
And by the way, Alex's birthday's next month, so we're gonna have
Yes,
to
it
make sure
is.
when it's close to his birthday, we'll have to make sure to mention it on the show.
Yes. Yeah. He'll be
And
excited about that.
actually, this one would probably be pretty close to it. So happy birthday, Alex. We love you. Mwah, 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 mwah. We're going to have cake and have yummy food. We're going to the Olive Garden. It's going to be
Hmm.
super fun. It's going to be a great time.
I'm taking him out for
And
his first adult beverage later.
yes, and I can't drink because of the pills I take, and I'm also a diabetic.
Right.
But I can drink a faux or a virgin. My favorite is strawberry daiquiris.
Yeah.
Just so
My
you
mom.
know,
Yeah. My
that's my
mom used
favorite.
to make me and my sister virgin strawberry daiquiris when we were little because she loves strawberry daiquiris. So when she was going to have one, she would make us our non-alcoholic version of them. so that
That's
we would feel
awesome.
all big and grown up too.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
I also like pina coladas.
Hmm.
Those are really good.
I'm drinking pina colada water.
Yeah. And so not only my family and friends, but I want to help with homelessness. I want to help with food insecurity. I want to make
Yes.
sure people have a good place to live, a good car. That they don't have to worry about breaking down on them,
Right.
and something with air conditioning and heat, because almost everywhere you live, you need both, and
Right.
higher education, because people to get to be as happy as you can be, you need to have those things met. Higher education is higher up on the pyramid,
Yeah.
but food, water, shelter, the bottom. You don't have that, you can't go further. So I
Right.
think it's ridiculous that people have food insecurity, are homelessness, and have no home, and have no vehicle or a really crappy one.
Right.
I think it's a travesty, and that's something I'm going to fix.
Right. And the whole notion of, well, why don't they just get a job so they can get out of the homelessness? Well,
It's kind of a
it's
catch
difficult.
22.
It is, because it's difficult to get a job if you don't have a home. First of all, there's not places here really for showers and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Not on a regular basis. And, the few places that there are, there's a lot of rules and a lot of hour restrictions and
Yep.
things like that.
Yep.
So it makes having a job difficult if you're just facing homelessness. And then if you're homeless, you're not sleeping well, so you're not as
No.
productive. You
Right.
become untrusting of other people.
Yeah.
So if you can't trust other people, then how can you work? Because you can't trust your job. You don't trust yourself anymore in your decision making.
Yeah.
Even though not all homelessness is your own fault. Sometimes it's just circumstances that you could not avoid.
Right. Right.
So
And
there needs to be something to fix that gap, because even being in a
Yes.
shelter isn't always a good fit for some people, for certain situations, because a lot of shelters you have to be in at a certain time, you have to be at these meetings, you have to be at these Bible studies, and that's all great for some people, but some people, they just don't have those options.
Yep.
So there has to be something that is more tailored to individual people's needs.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I agree. I want to mention that we're adding more magazines on, so be on the lookout for that. Go to Contessa's, go to issue.com, ISSUU/Contessa's Courts. We have 50 magazines up right now. By the time this airs, which will be next month, we'll have more, and we're adding more and more. I can't reveal because they're top secret until they're out, but it's going to be amazing, and people are going to be so happy to be able to read them.
Yeah.
And please check out what we do, because Cindy is my right-hand girl. She's my assistant and more. She's going to be more titles and stuff. She's like my executive administrative assistant. All fancy to the editor-in-chief. So fancy title. It's really long to put on a card, though. So we need to make it smaller. Otherwise, the card is going to be the whole name, and it's just going to say Cindy at the top.
We'll just abbreviate it. Take all of those little words and abbreviate it.
Yes.
And then people be like, what does the E and the A and the S and the U and all these things stand for?
People are not going to know what you do.
Right.
And so let's see. I struggle with time management, and I'm going to schedule, and you know how I schedule my life.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to start scheduling time to write every week. That I'm going to start doing that with you. So we're going to pick one day a week where I come over, even if it's just for a couple hours. We eat, we write, we visit.
Right.
And because I want you to get your story out, and I want to be able to inspire you, and I want to get one of my books done so I can get it out. And that's also another reason why I want a publishing house, because I want to be able to control it. I don't want people to take advantage. Do you know what I mean? Because
Right.
Amazon, I think it's like 30% or something. I'm like,
Yeah.
30%?
Right, I agree.
What? You know, and so this way we can give the authors more royalties, give them an advance. You know, because a lot of publishing houses don't even give you an advance to live
I
so you
know.
can write your next book.
Right.
And so I think it's ridiculous, and help get them on shows to promote their book and help with their tour costs. Because right now you have to pay for the tour costs yourself, which is ridiculous.
Right.
You know?
If you're not getting any advances, how are you supposed to pay for that stuff anyways? Because I mean, there's many authors, especially when they're first starting out, that literally live from book sale to book sale to book sale. They don't have money in between, and some authors never hit. You know, I mean, depending on how they put themselves out there, some never hit big enough to be able to pay for all those things on their own.
Yeah. And so
It's
then they just
expensive.
do a little local tour, and that's not going to get your name out there.
Right.
So I want to
No.
be able to help promote them, as well as get them exposure in magazines,
Right.
on TV, help them set
Right.
up tour places all over the United States, where it's going to make a big difference to the big stores like a Barnes and Noble
Right.
in New York or something.
Little local tours are great for just starting out, or for promoting something locally, or doing a local charity or something like that. But yeah, to get your name big, you need to be able to do much for, be able to travel, and sometimes internationally when you can.
Yes, absolutely. You got to get the book to go. And the nice thing about being on the internet is you can sell it pretty much anywhere.
Right.
I need a drink. Well, we're gonna.
Okay, and I think Fridays are good days for us, because what's a better way to wrap up our work week
Yep.
than to visit and work on our little books, and work a little on our books. That's how I meant to say it, and then have a little bite to eat, and then maybe when we're done working on our books a little bit, we can do some fun crafty things together and stuff.
Yeah, that would be really fun. That would be
That's
really, really
I
fun.
think that's a great way to wrap up the week.
I think that's a great way to wrap up the week too. Okay, so we need to wrap up the show. So thank you, everybody. We love you.
Thank you.
Please
Bye,
catch up
everybody.
on our other shows if you haven't. They'll be streaming, as well as on our YouTube channel, Contessa's Court. And catch us live. We'll always be on the episode, so we can talk to you. We're going to be airing starting next month on 7 p.m. on Friday Eastern Time. So look forward to us chatting with you. We would love to be chatting with you live, and it would be really, really fun for us. So thank you, everybody.
Thank you, and make sure you watch us and you reach out, because we want to help you grow, and helping you grow helps us grow.
Yep. All right. Thank you, everybody. We love you.
Bye. Love you all. Love you on.